I forgot to put the kettle on. Oh, bugger. Hello, I'm Bliznub, and welcome to Building the Best. Today we're going to be looking at the twin Grakatas, for the simple reason that I have to. Clem told me to. He threatened me. He was like, twin Grakatas. And I was like, but Clem, and he was like, Clem! And then I just looked at my feet in shame. So here we have twin Grakatas with 5 former. Damn you, Clem. Damn you. Now, the twin Grakatas are, of course, just a secondary version of single Grakatas with a higher mag capacity, as, of course, you are wielding 2 of them. Now, for rifles, for a primary, the Grakatas were very, very good, but for a secondary, they're not so much, as rifles benefited from better crit mods up until recently. That is, of course, until Primed Pistol Gambit and Primed Target Cracker came around on Barrow, and so Barrow has blessed us with the ability to take what would be a fairly average secondary and make it absolutely fantastic. And so here we have absolutely fantastic. Now, quick apology for not getting my Primed Target Cracker up to 110%. Simply couldn't do it, didn't have enough cores. I mean, for goodness sake, I spent ages getting the former to put into this thing. The cause was something else entirely. So we have 71% crit chance and 4.2 times crit multiplier if you max this out, which is fantastic for any weapon. But this is a spray and pray weapon. This thing's a crowd clearer like no other, and truthfully, it's fantastic with crit on it. And I can truly say that even if you don't have the primed versions, build this crit, you won't regret it. It's so much fun. So, of course, we're starting off with the 3 base damage mods. We have Hornet Strike, Bow Diffusion, and Lethal Torrent. And it's a little unfortunate Lethal Torrent adds fire rate, because we don't really want to increase fire rate on something that's already so ammo inefficient. But it sort of works, and I'll explain why in a bit. So, next up we have Primed Heater Charge, for the simple reason that if you do have the primed version of Heater Charge, you should put it on every secondary you own. It adds so much base damage, base heat damage, that you just have to. And we have Seeker here, which I add to most of my crowd control weapons, for the simple reason that you get collaterals, basically. Each round is likely to hit 2 or 3 enemies and can shoot through walls, and it makes it very easy to crowd control without having to worry about shield lancers, mobile cover, deployable cover even, now that's a thing, and such other annoying nuisances. And finally we have Pistol Pestilence, which is my optional mod for this build. Honestly, I was torn as to whether to do this or stick another former on it and just have a regular elemental damage mod, because 38% status chance isn't much, but then it hit me. With 32 rounds per second, you're gonna get status procs a lot. Upping that to almost 40% status chance is definitely worthwhile, and it will mean that you'll see a crazy amount of procs out of this weapon. Especially with Seeker doubling the amount of enemies that you can actually hit. So I can recommend sticking whatever status mod you want here, and of course, as usual, any elemental mod you want here if you don't particularly like taking gas damage. I'm taking this because I'm about to go up into a sortie, as was requested, I should say. I'm going into a sortie against Infested to demonstrate this weapon against some truly high-level enemies. Now, all in all, we've got very average numbers here, but bear in mind that all of these are going to be multiplied by 4 on pretty much every shot, and then we're going to get a status proc on every 2 to 3 shots. So yeah, this weapon deals fantastic burst damage. And honestly, for a crowd clear weapon, this thing is second to none. I mean, the Sonicor can keep up with it, but nothing clears crowds quite like the twin Grakatas. So let's go test this thing out. Let's test it out. I'm going to enlist a little help from my dear friend Clem. The best thing about the twin Grakatas is, of course, learning the way of the Clem. And so, in true Grakata fashion, we're going to Clem up as much as you can possibly Clem. So, whoa. Okay. Alright, guys, line up. Line up. Deploy Clems. More Clems. Yes. Alright, this should do it. So, the best thing about Twin Grakatas is, of course, that with the gas damage, whilst the status chance is relatively speaking low, you're going to be getting crazy amounts of procs just because of the pure fire rate of the weapon. The Seeker obviously helps with that, and the crit chance buffs the status procs, meaning that the gas clouds you get deal insane amounts of damage. You're going to be getting ridiculous amounts of them, making this probably the best crowd clear weapon. Apart from maybe the Sonic Ore that you can get as a secondary. And of course the only downside to this... Clems everywhere. The only downside to this is the ammo inefficiency, which, as I said earlier, can easily be fixed with an ammo mutation in place of Pistol Pestilence on this build. So, yeah, these Clems are fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. There's really not too much to say about this one. The Twin Grakatas are just fantastic fun. They're probably not the most damage you'll ever see on a secondary, but they are so much fun. And truthfully, why wouldn't you do this? Why wouldn't you learn the way of the Clem? Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. Please like and comment below, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm Bliznub, and this is, of course, Clem.